Good day everybody, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about preparing meals for a big family and culinary arts classes. During my last big haul from Costco, I had gotten a couple big packs of chicken and a huge pack of hamburger. I decided to plan a culinary arts class for the kids and prepare a few meals at the same time. Multitasking. What you have to do if you're a mom of many kids is know how to multitask. Learning to cook and bake is very important. When my kids move out on their own, I want them to know how to make good food for themselves. Learning isn't just math, English, science, and history. There are life lessons that need to be learned, like taking care of a home, budgeting, doing your taxes, how to make resumes and cover letters to get a job, learning how to treat people with respect, learning how to take care of yourself, and learning to cook and bake. There are things I want my children to learn, like how to grow a garden, how to build things, how to camp and hike. I want them to know how to cook, things like this. There is so much to learn in life, and we are constantly learning through everything we do. So for culinary arts class, we prepared chicken, corn, and potatoes for supper. I decided to make some pre-made spaghetti sauce with the kids to put in the freezer for the days where we want easy meals or the days we are so busy that we need something simple and delicious to make for supper. You know, moms out there, that some days we do so many errands or work so hard cleaning the house and looking after things, doing homeschool lessons, that we just want something easy to put together for supper. I have found, and what totally makes sense is, kids learn best by doing. So we do a lot of hands-on learning. I could tell them the recipe for spaghetti and give them instructions on how to make it, but would they remember it? Probably not. But if I get them to make it themselves, chances are they'll remember it. So instead of just giving them a recipe to memorize, I get them to make things for culinary arts classes, help them along the way with tips, advice, any questions they might have, so that they remember for years to come. When they move out on their own someday, they'll remember how to make these things. After a couple of times of making any dish, you pretty much remember it. So let's get into it. We started preheating the oven, and after getting the chicken ready to be put in the oven, when it was heated, we started peeling and chopping some vegetables, potatoes for supper, and peppers, onions, garlics, and mushrooms for the spaghetti sauce. Once all the vegetables were chopped and ready to go, we put the potatoes in a pot to cook. The chicken went into the oven to bake, and supper was on its way. Next, we began frying the hamburger. First, chopped garlics and onions were added to the hamburger. Next came in peppers and some seasoning. I am just going to take a moment now to let you all know you can find the recipe on my blog. I will leave a link in the description below. Bear in mind that the recipe is designed for a very big portion of spaghetti sauce. So let's get back to the video. After the hamburger and vegetables were done cooking, we added in the mushrooms. Let them cook in the mixture for a few minutes. Then we moved the hamburger mixture over to a big pot and added in the sauce and diced tomatoes. We let them simmer on the stove. While that was simmering, we put on some corn in a pot of water to heat up for supper. While that was heating up, we checked on the chicken and potatoes. They were both done, so we drained the potatoes, mashed in some butter, then stirred in milk and added some salt and pepper. When the corn was ready, we drained it and mixed in butter, salt, and pepper. Then we served supper. While everyone ate their supper, the spaghetti sauce continued to simmer on the stove. After we finished supper, I dished the spaghetti sauce into Tupperware containers to put in the freezer. We divided it into meal-sized portions. Now we have a few easy-to-prepare meals. For a day I know we will be busy and crazy, I will take a container to thaw for supper. Remember to place the container in the sink with water so that it will thaw in time for supper if you do this yourself. All I have to do at supper is cook a pasta of my choosing and heat up the sauce on the stove. A quick, delicious meal for everyone, and it's easy to make up some garlic bread as a side dish if you like. While we were chopping the vegetables, we found some pepper seeds sprouting inside the peppers. So we took the sprouts and planted them in some pots I had from last summer, and we are going to watch them grow and add them to our garden this year. When it gets a little bit warmer, probably the end of next month, we will really start working on our garden. But for now, we're just going to grow these pepper plants inside the house. It won't be too overwhelming. It's just a few peppers. And it's a good experience for the kids to learn. When we start our garden up this summer, I will film a few clips of us growing our garden so that I can post them on my channel. My husband got me a book and a chart I absolutely love, and these will help me out so much. Let me just take a moment to share them with you. I got this book, Complete Guide to Herbs and Spices, and I got this chart here. It opens up as a chart. Chef's Guide to Herbs and Spices. There is a lot going on in these books. If you look at any of the herbs and spices in this book, it tells you about the history of them, recipes, healing properties, culinary uses. There's a lot of information in this book about the herbs and spices and what to use them for what thing. Look, a sleepy time herb, healing properties, culinary uses. It's like every spice and herb that you could think of is in this book. If I just take a moment to look at the table of contents, let me find it here. Classic culinary herbs, medicine herbs, aromatic herbs, sweet spices, savory spices, seasonings. Lots of information in these books. There are 3 categories of herbs: the culinary herbs that enhance the taste of dishes, the medicinal herbs that are used to cure illnesses and prevent diseases, the aromatic herbs that bring the soothing, pleasurable sense of the garden indoors. There are also crossovers, culinary herbs that have delightful scents, and medicinal herbs that were first used as food additives. Now, if we check out the Grower's Guide on page 296, look, aloe. Who hasn't heard that there's healing properties in aloe? My mom taught me about that when I was very young. So 296, I believe, is what we're looking for. Whoop. Glossary, helpful. Grower's Guide. It lets you know where they can be grown, each season herb and spice, how far apart they need to be from each other, how long it takes for them to mature, how much soil they need, the temperature they need. It helps you with information you need to grow all the different herbs and spices. Very good. Now let's take a look at the Chef's Guide. We got definitions, curries, herbs, fresh or dried, when to add, how to proceed. Dried herbs should be rubbed between 2 fingers. Cuts for fresh. We got the cuts, blends, and bundles. Buying, storing, and preserving herbs and spices. Which ones should be freeze-dried? Which ones should be oil or vinegar infused? Which ones should be refrigerated? Drying herbs, how to do that. Tips and tricks. There's a quick study guide here of the culinary spices. Culinary herbs quick study. So lots of useful information here. And on the back, we've got Growing at Home, a guide on how to grow at home. So I am so happy that I got these. My husband bought them for me, and it will just help me be able to use herbs and spices so much better. This book and chart will help me with growing, storing, and cooking with so many different herbs and spices. They teach you what different herbs and spices are good for. This is very exciting, and I will be able to pass this information on to the children through our culinary arts classes and while we are attending to our garden. I am able to teach the children how to plant and maintain a garden. These are lessons we should be teaching our children, how to grow their own food. This is what homeschooling is all about. If you have watched this video to this point, thank you so much for watching. If you are not a subscriber, click the subscribe button to see future videos. If you want to support me and my channel, check out the links in the description to find out how. Leave me a comment to let me know what classes you're doing right now in your homeschooling class. Let me know if you have your own garden at home. Maybe you have a suggestion on a video you would like to see me do. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day.